catching these fish is to pray. That's the only thing, you know? Put the bait on the hook, throw it out there, and pray to the fishing gods.
Hi, Dave Cavagnaro here. Today we're going to show you how to fillet your bluefish that you brought home from the ocean breeze. So what we do here is we have a nice fresh bluefish that we caught and we brought home. The important thing is when you bring your fish home and transporting it, is make sure you have packed in plenty of ice. You must keep the fish fresh. So many people, they take them, they throw them into a burlap bag or a bucket, they leave them there for 4 or 5 hours, they get home and they say, oh, the fish was gamey or it was very fishy. Well, that's because the fish was turning bad, it was cooking in the sun. You don't want to do that. Keep it packed in ice. Bring yourself a cooler, a nice bag of ice, and keep your fish, your catch fresh. You worked hard at it. These are ferocious fighters, so keep the fish fresh so you can enjoy it when you get home. As you can see, this fish weighs about 2.5 to 3 pounds. And a little clue here is when you look at the fish, you see how fresh it is. You can see how nice red and pink the gills are, and the eyes are nice and dark. There's no cloudiness in the eye. That means this fish is fresh within 24 hours. And what you want to do is when you catch your fish, the best thing, especially on a bluefish, to keep it fresh is to stick the knife in here, and what you want to do is you want to bleed them out. And by doing that and throwing them in your cooler, you'll let all the blood out of the body. I know it sounds a little grotesque, but you'll keep the blood from migrating into the flesh of the fish, and the fish won't have that oily taste to it. So what you want to do is take your fish when you get it home, is scale it. Now I'm going to show you a partial scaling of this fish because it is a little messy. And then what we'll do from there is I'll show you how to fillet the fish with the skin on and remove the skin and the scales at the same time. So what you want to do is you want to make a cut maybe about 2.5 or 3 inches from the back of the tail, right through. You don't want to go all the way through, only about halfway. And then you want to do the same up here. Get under the dorsal fin, the pectoral fin, and cut in about halfway through. And then take your knife right along the center line and bring that knife in and all the way down to the bottom cut. And just very gently work your very sharp fillet knife along the fillet bone inside the center skeleton, working it all the way down and being careful not to cut too deeply because you don't want to get into the sac where the innards are. Now you have a nice, beautiful bluefish fillet. Look at that, it's nice. Now this still has the scales on it. Now I'll show you very quickly how to remove that, and then when we flip the fish over I'll show you how to scale them. What you want to do now is just take your knife and your fingers, run it in here like this, and then take the knife under the skin and just very gently grab the skin and keep the knife nice and even and pull the fish towards you and work the knife all the way across the fillet. Now the fish is filleted. The skin is here with the scales and not all over your kitchen. And now you can take this and place this on your roasting board, your roasting pan, and you can do the other side of the fish. Now, some people like to keep the skin on. And for some fish, like salmon, striped bass, I think that's a good idea to do. For bluefish, I'm not a big fan of that. So I would just remove the skin from the fillet. But what you can do is just grasp the tail firmly, and with the knife, just gently push across the skin, and you'll see the scales start flying. Now that we've washed our fillets, we're going to show you a simple dish. Some russet potatoes, some Peruvian blue potatoes. We have some shallots, we had some red onions, Spanish onion, some fresh parsley, some garden tomatoes that we cubed up here, and some herbs de Provence, which has rosemary, lavender, and thyme. And we're going to be seasoning that together. So what we did here to get a little head start was that we took all the potatoes and we just chopped them up nice and coarse. Not too big, not too small, bite size. And then we're going to add some herbs de Provence into the potatoes. A little salt. Not too much salt because we're going to salt our filet later before we add all these items on. We'll throw our tomatoes in there. And we're going to very quickly chop up a little parsley. It doesn't have to be a fine mince. Keep it coarse, keep it simple for yourself. I think the chunkier it is, the more rustic it looks, and I think it looks much more attractive when it comes out of the oven. Now we're going to take a little olive oil, just to give everything a little coating, so when we put it in the oven they roast up nicely. Mix them all together. Great. And then we're going to take our fillets and we're going to put some pepper on them and a little salt. When cooking fish, always season both sides. And use kosher salt. I think that works best. Nice kosher salt works best. You actually wind up using less salt. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our mixture of vegetables and potatoes that we raided out of our refrigerator that we didn't know what to do with because we had one of these, two of those, and we're going to just kind of spread them on the tray a little bit, like so. We don't want to cover up the fish, really, around the fish. And this fish is now, these fillets are going to go in the oven at 450 degrees for about 25 or 30 minutes. And our timer went off, and we're going to go check our bluefish. Here we are. Wow, look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? And we're going to finish that right here, right in the stove. We're going to hit that with a little white wine, some lemon, and we're going to take a little slab of butter, sweet butter, unsalted. We throw that right on top. And we're going to give that another minute or two in the oven to let everything combine. All right, about a minute or two have passed, and we get the juices and everything going here. We're going to pull this out, put this on our cutting board. Very nice. You're going to really enjoy this. And what you're going to do is very simply, remember that the tray is hot, get a nice spatula, and in one big swoop, get underneath the fillet, so you can plate that, like so. And let's see if we can grab the other one. There we are. And you're going to take all your vegetables, roasted potatoes, tomatoes, shallots, mix it all up on the tray. Doesn't that look nice? And we're going to put them right on the tray right on the plate with the bluefish. We're going to take our parsley. Get a little garnish on there, like so. And that's your bluefish, your roasted bluefish with seasonal vegetables.